his whole life.
Legit.
Shedeur's been hearing these messages his entire life. Feels like he would be prepared for basically any situation mentally. You would think that. Now, once you experience it, it's obviously different. But I think listening to Coach Prime say, like, this is Shedeur Sanders we're talking about here. Whenever people were asking a lot of questions, it's like he was saying, you don't think that I've taught him how to be a professional? That's basically what you're saying. I'm intrigued to see how it works out. Dylan Gabriel, not talked about at all, third-round pick, drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders. Kenny Pickett, last guy to touch ball in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was.
And Joey Flacco, last guy to take the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs.
What happens when you swap Shedeur Sanders for Kenny Pickett as QB1? A full-blown McAfee explosion that looks one Red Bull away from breaking studio furniture. This wasn't a take. It was a televised meltdown with the volume blasting like a nightclub.
Pat McAfee, ESPN analyst, met Shedeur Sanders recently in the past and said these words right here. You are one tough cookie. I enjoy the way you play football at that quarterback position. I seen you get hit after hit after hit at Colorado, but you kept getting back up and delivering that football.
Why is Shedeur getting pushed aside? Who thought this move made sense? Grab a snack because this thing spins out faster than a busted Hail Mary at 4th and Wild. Subscribe if you know. Shedeur should be QB1. Cut to training camp, where logic clearly clocked out early. Because in a season where football IQ is supposed to matter, somebody stared at Shedeur Sanders, the guy with ice-cold calm and highlight reel smoothness, and said, let's pick Kenny Pickett instead. What kind of call is that? Yes, that Kenny Pickett. The one whose tape looks like a safety demonstration. Meanwhile, Shedeur's tape is straight art.
Be in Cleveland.
Who's that?
We know.
They traded for Kenny, so him.
It'll be Hey, I love Dylan Gabriel. I love Pickett. I love Flacco.
Oh,
It's going to be
stop.
Shedeur.
Day one?
No, by week 8, Shedeur Sanders will be.
Judging by
Okay, that sounds right.
Judging by the ESPN.
I mean,
Cleveland stats.
I'm dialed into ESPN Cleveland, so I'm watching this. I don't know what the hell those DBs are
16
doing.
of 18.
Yeah, I think I only saw one interception from all the quarterbacks. So I don't know what
They're
these
dialing it
Ward
up.
and the boys are doing over there. But
Be careful.
You know,
Be careful.
I'm reading tea
June.
leaves. I'm watching.
June.
What are you talking about, Shreds? 16 of 18.
Jackson
16
Dart
touchdowns.
threw 3 touchdowns today. Like, be careful.
Yeah, never gonna happen. Holy shit.
Kenny,
Better
really?
not throwing them.
Put it on the bottom
Yeah,
line.
it is a lot better than not throwing. Good call, AJ.
I get it.
If NFL film were dating profiles, Shedeur would be getting swiped right by every GM in the league, while Pickett might struggle to get a pity swipe. But instead of letting Shedeur run the show, they handed the keys to someone who can't even lead a simple pregame moment, let alone a whole offense. And that's exactly when Pat McAfee scorched his vocal cords in real time, going off like someone swapped his racehorse for a confused mule with cleats. That rage, it could light up a whole neighborhood, because now it's time to talk about Shedeur, the quarterback they never should have benched. Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a walking masterclass with a grin that makes defensive backs rethink life choices. Precision, locked in, pocket awareness, sharp, pressure throws. He handles them like it's nothing. Not like one of those dollar store hoverboards that blow up for no reason.
He's tough. He takes a lot of pride in getting up. Now, I know he has a watch, and I know he's been rich his whole life, and I know people think everything's been handed to him, but I think he's taken that and gone the complete opposite direction, wanting to prove that he's just as tough, if not tougher, than everybody else. He got hit more than anybody, and he would pop right back up. And some of these shots he was taking were like full spears, like Braun Breaker spears in the middle of a game. He's getting speared through the earth, and then he would pop back up, not even miss a play. It's like that durability is something that is very much respected and appreciated.
The man sees blitzes coming like he downloaded cheat codes straight out of the Matrix. Shedeur doesn't just play football. He conducts the whole thing like a street-smart Beethoven with cleats. He reads defenses like they're open notebooks, turns complicated coverage into simple language, then torches it with a 40-yard rocket that leaves the crowd gasping. He's mobile without the chaos, confident without the attitude, the kind of QB you build real legacies around. And if anyone doubted it, the numbers scream the truth. Over 3,200 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, barely any mistakes, with an offensive line that struggled to slow down anything.
It appears in the 4-quarterback derby, despite the fact that Shedeur had the fewest attempts, he was the most efficient and most productive with the fewest reps. Again, not a mathematician, but that feels important to me. The Herd newsroom is calling it in Ohio by a landslide. Shedeur Sanders should be starting. All I know, with very average personnel outside of Travis Hunter, against the very best teams he played. They didn't win games, but he was highly productive.
Shedeur was out there, turning messy plays into art, taking hits like someone thought he owed them cash, but still delivering magic every drive. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett's highlight reel looks like it was edited on ancient internet. His energy sits somewhere between a tired toaster and a stalled engine. Sure, he's been in the league longer, but mileage isn't momentum. Some cars sit in the garage so long, they start rusting for no reason. You don't choose the quarterback with 3 warning lights flashing just because he's been around.
It's about damn time. Shedeur Sanders has officially been named the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns after the conclusion of minicamp. And let me show you guys the stats of the 4 quarterbacks from the Browns during minicamp. Because obviously this job was not easy to get due to the fact that he was going against 3 legit quarterbacks to get this starting job. Kenny Pickett, who they just signed, Joe Flacco, the Hall of Famer, and then the guy that they selected in the draft before him in Dylan Gabriel. But Shedeur Sanders went off in minicamp, and let me show you guys the stats, which is the reason why he is being named the starter.
This move didn't surprise fans. It slapped them with a soggy playbook. People refreshed their phones thinking, this has to be a joke. But nope, this was a real call made by folks who are supposed to know football. Somewhere, a clipboard probably snapped itself out of frustration. And Pat McAfee reacted like someone swapped his espresso with cold medicine. Arms flying, voice cracking, volume breaking glass, and he wasn't wrong. This was straight football chaos. You don't bench the quarterback who moves the chains, lights up the locker room, and makes your whole team relevant in the TikTok era.
They already think that Shedeur's better than him. He jumped on top of him, right? So now you're in third place. Similar situation, rookie quarterback that had chance to start, but how'd he get there? Some guys like Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson. If you look at Dak, he was 5-0. 5-0 as in 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. Preseason. In 3 games, he looked good. Okay, maybe we could start this dude. Russ was like 5 for 1. That means 5 touchdowns and 1 pick in 4 games. And it was like, okay. And it started with OTAs, and then it finished with the preseason. And I think if Shedeur goes in the preseason and balls out, then we won't see what you got when the coach ain't on the field talking to you.
Yeah.
I think if he does that, he'll have a chance, man.
Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a whole movement wrapped in shoulder pads. This wasn't modern football. It felt like coaching straight out of some dusty old rule book that still thinks play it safe is a strategy worth bragging about. If they gave Shedeur even half the freedom other rookies get, he'd be flipping expectations like someone rewriting their grades before report cards drop.
You can speak loud and be rambunctious and have that bravado, but as a quarterback, reminder, you are the CEO of that franchise.
This is the best situation for Shedeur because he has to claw his way to the top. Does he have the capabilities of doing it? Absolutely.
But instead, the staff tossed all their hopes into Kenny Pickett's slightly cracked basket, basically saying, why take the Lamborghini when we could gamble on a 2011 Chevy Malibu with attitude issues? The irony is wild. You've got a quarterback who breathes leadership, eats blitzes before sunrise, and still asks for seconds, and you park him on the sideline? That's not development. That's putting potential in a drawer and forgetting it exists until week 9 when the offense looks like a home project gone wrong. Let's be honest, Shedeur isn't some regular rookie. He walks in with veteran calm and the hunger of someone who wasn't handed anything.
Ball's coming out of Shedeur Sanders at that game, and I'm like, kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm ready.
He can sling it.
Ready to. I see him, some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
Yep.
You talking about Njoku there?
Njoku, mic'd up. Yeah, once you see, different little interactions and things like that, we know. I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said.
He doesn't need training wheels. He needs a runway. But instead of giving him the keys, they handed him a clipboard like he's waiting for roll call. That's like telling Picasso to start with finger painting. You either have it or you don't. And Kenny Pickett, he just doesn't. You want to talk marketing, jerseys, fan hype? Shedeur has more cultural force than the biggest movie franchises ever had in their early days. His name trends when he sneezes. He doesn't just sell hope, he is the hope. And that matters in a league built on impact.
Camp, rookies and vets have officially reported to Berea, and to kick things off, Mary Kay Cabot predicts that Kenny Pickett will have the upper hand early in gospel when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. She's the gospel.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Listen, she's the Pavarotti.
But here we are, watching the franchise tuck their most electric player into the QB2 slot like he's a spare phone charger. The internet is spinning out. Fan bases are typing like the keyboard owes them rent. Even opposing coordinators are confused, whispering, "Wait, we don't have to prep for Shedeur yet? Thank you, football gods." And then there's McAfee. His reaction was the perfect cherry on this wild Sunday. His disbelief had layers, like he was staring at a Rubik's Cube that swung back at him. He wasn't upset because of fantasy points. He was upset because basic football logic took a trip to another planet. There's a reason people tuned in just to hear McAfee lose his voice over it. It wasn't just theatrics. People knew McAfee was right. You don't trap lightning in a bottle and leave it collecting dust.
He's going to be the starting quarterback and taking the reps. The way things go when you acquire quarterbacks, that guy who's in first usually gets the first reps of the opportunity. Then the second guy gets it, the third guy gets it, the fourth guy gets it. Kenny Pickett was acquired before Flacco. Then you bring in Dylan Gabriel based on draft status. Then you bring in Flacco. Then you bring in Shedeur, who was the last guy. They'll all split reps in training camp. They'll get equal amount of reps. And then we'll start to notice those reps are dying. That's how he'll win some of the younger guys over and the coaching staff by performing when the opportunity presents itself when he's with the ones and the twos. Yep. And that's how they'll grade him. But I think he'll come out on top.
Shedeur was sitting there in full gear, watching someone else run an offense that practically has his name stitched onto it. McAfee's meltdown felt less like a rant and more like a prophecy fueled by pure caffeine. You could see the man's spirit exit his body when the words Kenny Pickett named QB1 hit his ears like a marching band gone wild. The disbelief, the squint, the wild hand signals, it was pure sports chaos at its finest. This wasn't a hot take, it was a full-blown emergency. McAfee didn't explode for show. He exploded because the logic was broken. Everybody with working eyes knew you don't build the future by benching your most electric talent. You don't take Shedeur Sanders, playing with veteran calm and highlight swagger, and tell him, "Yo, sit behind Kenny." Kenny checked down on 3rd and long Pickett. McAfee's voice cracked like someone told him his favorite team traded their best player for snacks. And he cracked because Shedeur isn't just talented, he's unreal. He already earned those reps with toughness, confidence, and deep shots that froze defensive backs in place. And the real sting, this isn't new. It's part of a bigger, older pattern in the league dynamic. Sharp young quarterbacks get told to wait, while basic, safe options get the green light. It's outdated thinking dressed up as strategy.
They have Deshaun Watson. He's injured with that second Achilles tear. I don't believe that he's going to play football for the Cleveland Browns ever again. So now you have 4 quarterbacks. You have Joe Flacco on a 1-year, $4 million deal, veteran, right? You have Kenny Pickett that you just traded for. Those are going to be the 2 who are battling for QB1. That is at least going into training camp. I'm not saying about who's going to be the week 1 starter just yet. Now you are going to have Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders splitting QB3 and QB4 reps. There's not a lot of those reps, but one of them will clearly beat out the other. That is how quarterback competition.
Shedeur doesn't fit the old school mold. He shatters it, sweeps up the pieces, then signs them like souvenirs. He improvises, creates, reads defenses like a street map, then lights them up with pure skill. Decision makers keep chasing the familiar, even when it's outdated. Kenny Pickett is a cool guy, sure, but this isn't a charity draft. This is football. So is the league scared of change? Why do young quarterbacks with fresh disruptive talent get pushed aside while safe, predictable options keep getting chances? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just one depth chart. It's a whole mindset slowing the game down. This is just another plot twist in the Shedeur Sanders origin story, a training montage loading in real time. And when it finishes, defensive coordinators better show up ready, because this kid is about to heat up fast. This isn't a fall, it's a slingshot. Pull him back now, but when he launches, Good luck stopping him. And let's not act like the locker room is confused. Every receiver, every lineman, even the equipment crew can see who the real future is. Shedeur isn't a backup, he's the blueprint. And if the staff hasn't caught on yet, a few more games will spell it out for them. One scoreboard at a time, which brings us back to McAfee's furious wisdom. You don't bench your best weapon and expect to win. You don't walk into battle with a dull blade while your sharpest one sits untouched. You let your warrior lead, you let Shedeur cook, and you step aside. So now what? Wait for an injury. Pray Pickett throws enough off-target passes for the staff to wake up. That's not strategy. That's hesitation, pretending to be a plan. Week 3 reps in the fourth quarter of a game that's already cooked. That's not development. That's a pity cameo. Shedeur should have been QB1 from day one, given the real shot to lead, make mistakes, grow, and shine like every other young talent who got the keys because someone believed in the fire, not the smoke. Instead, they went with a quarterback whose biggest headline is, "At least he didn't throw a pick today." That's the bar now. Meanwhile, Shedeur could close his eyes, launch a dime, and still not get the nod. There's a storm coming, and it's rocking number 2. When Shedeur finally gets his moment, it won't be a highlight, it'll be a full-on reckoning. A giant "I told you so" stamped across every stat sheet like permanent ink. And trust this, the timeline remembers, fans remember, and McAfee, he'll definitely remember. This isn't just football, this is a saga, and Shedeur Sanders is the main character. Everyone else is just trying not to get written out of the script. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one.